Hey you, come here! I want to show you something. You're learning a new language, right? And you'd like to be able to speak it fast, yeah? But traditional language learning methods are just too slow, too hard. Who has the time? I'd like to be able to speak while I still have teeth. Introducing instant language pills. With instant language pills, you can kiss study and practice goodbye with just bullshit. With just one dose of instant language pills, you'll feel the language cells beginning to activate. Instant language pills are backed by science fiction. What the Hey buddy, I'm trying to make a living here. You're trying to rip people off with sugar pills. Nobody is stupid enough to think that will work, you snake oil salesman. Snake oil? Why, I sell nothing but the finest bullshit. Okay. Forget about this. You look like an intellectual, a real smart cookie, so I'm gonna give it to you straight. To learn a new language, you're gonna have to study. No time? No problem. With my new patented passive program, you can learn any language while you sleep with just bullshit. Hey buddy, I'm trying to help people with their language here. Bullshit. Okay. I got something. You're gonna love this. Look, there's really no secret to language learning. Thank you. There's really only one way to learn a new language, and that's why I'm offering to the first 100 people who called now a 6-month immersive language learning trip. You'll be constantly surrounded by native speakers of your target language, making it a breeze to pick up without any effort. This is how we all learn our native languages and text.
Bypassing the last firewall now.
Hey.
Are we in?
Patching you in. We're live.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled bullshit to bring you the truth. There are no fast and easy shortcuts to learning a new language. It takes time. It takes work. It's not easy, but anyone and everyone can do it. I want to show you 6 things you can do every day, starting today, that if done correctly, will help with your language learning goals more than any overpriced program promising fast fluency with no effort. Let's go.
Speak to yourself.
This is the simplest and one of the most powerful tools we have in language learning. Speaking out loud to ourselves, that is, speaking loudly enough with our voice that we can hear it, develops the habit of thinking in the target language. It is incredibly important to learn to think in the language instead of thinking in our native language and then translating it into the new language. It's much harder and takes much more time to translate than to think the thought in the language we are currently speaking. So, if I'm speaking English, I'm thinking in English. If I'm speaking Spanish, I'm thinking in Spanish. If I'm speaking Portuguese, what language am I thinking in? I'll give you a hint. It isn't French. The only way to fluency is to abandon translation and embrace thinking in the target language. Basically, you need to learn to teach the voice in your head to speak the new language. Speaking out loud helps us to practice pronunciation and helps with the coordination and strengthening of the 200 muscles we use to speak.
Read out loud.
Edward se mantivera imóvel o tempo todo, mas algo nele parecia ter mudado. Seus
When I got my first job teaching English in Rio de Janeiro, I often spent 2 hours a day on public transportation, traveling between students in different parts of the city. I must have looked like a crazy man, muttering to myself quietly as I read the entire time in Portuguese. Reading often and out loud serves much the same purpose as speaking out loud to ourselves. The biggest difference is that when we speak to ourselves, we are limited by what we know how to say. When we read out loud to ourselves, we get to practice speaking like an educated native speaker or any of a story's characters. This is great for pronunciation, and you can practice speaking fluently even if you don't know the language very well yet. Reading is, of course, a great way to take in new vocabulary and see what different types of sentence structures are possible. I recommend keeping notes, preferably in the target language, on new words you discover while reading, and also on any interesting points if you're reading a text from a culture different from your own.
Record yourself.
A lot of people keep a daily journal or diary. Why not keep yours in your target language? Every day, record yourself talking for about 5 to 10 minutes about something different. But don't watch it. Not yet, anyway. Wait until the next day to watch it. This gives you some emotional separation from the recording, so when you watch it, it feels a little bit like a different person, and it's always easier to catch the mistakes of someone else than it is our own. This is also a great chance to look up new vocabulary or to find weak parts in your language so you can study those areas more. Make sure to speak about something different every day and to regularly talk about the past, present, and future to work with different verb tenses. This exercise is stream of consciousness, meaning you say what you think when you think it, without preparation. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes so long as you correct them later. A mistake is just an opportunity to learn. If you're not making mistakes, then you are not learning. Making a lot of mistakes is normal, natural, and a healthy part of learning.
No subtitles. Train your ears.
I once had a student who was a life coach. You know, one of these people who helps others learn how to live better and reach their goals. Well, when I told this student to stop using subtitles, they nearly had a breakdown. They said that it was impossible not to use subtitles because they didn't understand, and they literally demanded that I give them another method. This person doesn't take classes with me anymore, and I almost guarantee that their listening comprehension hasn't improved at all. Like I said at the beginning, there are no shortcuts, no way to cheat the process of language learning. The only way to learn to understand what you hear is to listen. Now, if you can't understand the majority of a movie, then I don't recommend watching the whole movie with no subtitles. You'll just get bored and stop paying attention. What I recommend instead is breaking the movie down into smaller parts or watching shorter videos on YouTube or TED. Watch a video through one time with no subtitles and maybe note the time of parts where you had difficulty understanding. In YouTube, search for something that interests you. Go to Filter and select Subtitles to show only videos which have subtitles. Find and click on a video that looks interesting. Click on the little gear to open settings and then click on Subtitles. If the English subtitles say automatically generated after them, we cannot use that video because computer-generated subtitles suck. They almost always have mistakes. If the English subtitles are not automatically generated, then click on the 3 little dots below the video and click on Open Transcript. The transcript is a complete written record of everything said in the video, and every video on YouTube that has subtitles has a transcript. Using the transcript, you can rewatch the whole video, or using the times that you wrote down earlier, you can click on the text in the transcript to watch that part of the video. Then watch and listen again and again and again until you're able to understand without reading. In the end, you should be able to watch the video again with no subtitles and understand at least 90% of it.
Listen to podcasts.
There is nothing wrong with listening to podcasts created for language learners, but you need to consume, you need to take in as much native content as possible to better understand native speakers and to learn to speak more naturally. Listen to podcasts about subjects that you are really interested in while you're traveling or on your daily commute or while doing stuff around the house like washing the dishes or doing the laundry. I'm very interested in science and technology, so I'll use science and technology podcasts as examples here. I like to think about listening comprehension as being a game with 3 levels of difficulty. The first level is listening to one person speaking directly to you. The science-related YouTube channels of Vsauce and Veritasium are great examples of this. The second level is 2 speakers speaking to you and to each other, like Star Talk Radio. This is a little harder because we're dealing with more than one voice and more than one train of thought. And occasionally, they may interrupt each other or talk at the same time. The highest level of difficulty is 3 or more people talking to each other, like the Infinite Monkey Cage from BBC Radio 4. With larger groups, speakers begin to get excited and talk faster. They tend to argue and talk over one another with lots of interruptions, making it much harder to understand. This is very similar to what it's like to go out with a group of friends or attend a meeting, so it's invaluable training for your ears.
Do shadowing.
I'm not going to talk about this one too much, as I already have videos in English and Portuguese explaining in detail how to practice shadowing or imitation. Shadowing is simply repeating what a native speaker of your target language says in the exact same way that they say it, as if you were an actor. I find this exercise to be a lot of fun and very important for anyone who is serious about reaching fluency and sounding more like a native speaker. So go check out my videos on shadowing to learn more. Although it's possible to learn languages quickly, it is not possible to learn them without a lot of effort, without a lot of work. Spend your time wisely and be disciplined in your studies and practice, and you will achieve great things. I promise. It's just a matter of practice and patience. What exercises and techniques do you use that are not on my list? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share with your friends so we can beat the guys like this. Learn while you sleep. It's completely effortless. You literally do nothing at all. And that's not even the best part. With this baby, you can learn any language, and it slices, it dices, it makes julienne fries. For just 52 low installments of $19.99 each, it can be yours. Before you know it, you'll be speaking English, French, Pashto, that little African clicking language, Klingon, and yes, even Java and C++. I guarantee it.